Today, news broke according to ESPN and several other media outlets that Iverson had a backpack stolen. Well, not only did he have a backpack stolen, he had about $500,000 worth of jewelry in that bag. Now they're saying the incident took place Monday morning around 10 a.m. at the Sofitel Hotel in Philadelphia. There's a picture of a guy out there. Last I heard, he turned himself in to the police. I'm not going to put it up on the screen, but it went down today, Sandman. I don't know if he got it back yet, the jewelry, but the guy did turn himself in. What do you think about this news that broke earlier?
It's crazy, but it's not anything outside of the realm of imagination. $500,000 worth of jewelry is a lot of jewelry. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to get on anybody. You've earned the money. Do what you want with the money. That's on you. But those are the risks that you take when you got that kind of stuff around you.
Oh, yeah.
And you got hungry lions, starving lions that just want what you got and aren't willing to work for it. If they find an opportunity to come up, they're going to come up. How many times have we seen people, in particular out in California, with their houses getting robbed or somebody getting tapped into that don't happen to be home? People are envious, and people will take your shit if they find an opportunity. This doesn't surprise me. Allen Iverson hopefully has some insurance claims on it, even though they're saying now that they turned it back in. Yeah. I know Allen Iverson got some people around him that probably weren't too happy, and thank God homeboy turned it back in.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
That's dope that he got it. You know what I mean? Definitely was recovered and whatnot, but I think it's dope that he definitely, you know what I mean? I don't know if it was the streets that did it in Philly and whatnot, but, you know, he did do it. And it said that, the new update is a 21-year-old male did turn himself in for that crime along with the jewelry. So shout out to Allen Iverson. I want to transition to another part, about Allen Iverson, man, and just talk about a little bit about how he, changed the NBA, changed, the style of the play, the dress code and everything, what type of figure he was and what he grew into right now, man. How do you feel about that, Sam, man? How Iverson, I think revolutionized, definitely the dress code and everything, changed that, but how he changed the NBA, the way he played in his tenacity.
Allen Iverson was one of the greatest players we've ever seen, and it makes you go, wow, look at the eras of basketball that we've seen. Look at the eras. We've lived through some of the greatest sports athletes and sporting events of all time. It's a great thing to be a part of. Allen Iverson coming out of Georgetown, highly recruited quarterback coming out of Virginia. Mm-hmm. It was him, Michael Vick. They were out there doing their thing. People saying that Allen Iverson was a better football player than Michael Vick. I remember hearing that story. Such an athlete. I remember him with John Chaney out in Georgetown. Mm-hmm. And then he goes to the 76ers right up the street.
Yeah.
Pat Croce and who was it? Who was his coach?
Larry Brown.
Larry Brown.
Yeah.
With very, very minimal supporting staff, with brothers that worked hard.
Yeah.
And just outworked their talent. And it was something exciting to watch. And every day he spilled his blood and his guts on the court. Somebody that was 6 foot tall, dunking on people 6, 7 foot, out there just making shots that are impossible. His crossover, I said this on Twitter, is the greatest athletic move of all time. I seen somebody get hit with it in a fucking, what's that shit? A kid, a teacher faculty game.
Oh,
Teacher hit the boy with a boot. I was like, oh my.
Yeah.
Greatest move of all time. I remember the commercial when he came off the AIs, and then you talk about how he transcended it. He changed the dress code in the NBA to where David Stern was like, no, we got to wear suits. We got to wear. Brother started to get comfortable. The tats started coming out, the long sleeves, the cornrows,
do-rags.
Look, man, I ain't gonna lie. I was wearing a do-rag. I ain't had no fucking hair. I was one of them niggas. Because of AI. He transcended the game. He transcended culture. He's a pop icon. Yeah. And he needs to be in a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because he's a pop icon. In basketball, he's second to none.
And then we talk about Kobe's, work ethic and everything. And Iverson had the infamous practice speech, but he's a dude that when he was on the court, he was as great as any player. His size, him being like 6 foot, probably smaller than that in real life, like 150, 160 pounds, but just was fearless. Ferocious. Like, I just love like him, Kobe, and Mike. I have to say my 3 favorite basketball players of all time. Just the way that they approached the game and the way that they just competed at a high level each and every time that they took the court, man. I mean, like you said, Tyrone Hill, George Lynch, Eric Snow, like these dudes was nobody.
Theo Ratliff.
Yeah, like straight nobodies that averaged like not even 8 points a game. Mm-hmm. But he was able to find a way to get him to the NBA championship. The Lakers were just too much at the time. He also had this way about him, but I loved it. I love his defiance back then. I love the way that Allen Iverson carried himself back then, even though a lot of people may have thought that it was detrimental, to himself and to his career at some point. But again, man, he changed the game, forever. And, always going to look up to Allen Iverson. That's one guy that's on my list. I know he's probably on your list.
Hell yeah.
Of getting him in here, for an interview at some point. Hopefully we can make that happen.
We're looking at Kobe, Shaq, Allen Iverson. These are brothers that we watch grow up in front of our eyes. So, of course, they're going to make mistakes. If somebody watched my journey from 19 to 36, the shit that would be out about me would be ridiculous. Mm-hmm. You understand? We are fortunate enough, and most people are fortunate enough not to have their life broadcasted for millions to see. It's easy to cast judgment on people when we watch their live in front of us. Look at them and judge them by the men that they are now. Allen Iverson is obviously somebody that's made his mistakes, but one could sit back and easily judge him when you didn't walk in his shoes and knew what he went through as a child, what he went through as a young adult, his adulthood, whatever. I ain't going to judge that man. Like you said, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. If, in fact, he had a work ethic like Kobe, he probably, I don't know how many rings he might have won. It'd be a great discussion to have with him now that Kobe is passed away, unfortunately, just to have that discussion as far as how he feels now about work ethic, especially what he
he had Shaq, too. Kobe did have
Kobe
Shaq.
won a couple without Shaq, too.
He did.
I wish that, and let me say this. If Allen Iverson had a Shaq,
he'd have won
he's winning the chip.
Yeah.
In Philly, he was winning the chip. In Denver, it was a little past Detroit. I'm talking about in Philly.
Oh, yeah.
If he had a Kobe or a Shaq, he was winning the chip. I say more Shaq because back then it was the league of the big men. You needed a big man in there.
He was unstoppable.
He was unstoppable.
Like literally killing it.
They had Mutombo, and he was making Mutombo. It looked like a fucking heavyweight fight with him getting beaten by blows by Tyson. He was getting blown back 50 feet. It's like, oh, this dude don't stand a chance. It's just funny.
Yeah.
Man, salute to Allen Iverson, man. We gotta give our stars and the people that we admire their flowers while they're here, man. I've heard it so many times in the last 365 days, obviously, with Nip passing away. A lot of young artists, a lot of young people passing away due to whatever. And now Kobe, we got to respect and honor our people while they're here, man. So we'd love to have Allen Iverson on there to talk some basketball, definitely, as well as some other people that we'll be reaching out to.
Yeah, very, very soon, man, to get them, into our new set. I'm sure you've seen that now if you follow our Instagram or YouTube pages. But I want to turn our attention over to this story. Something real serious went down. Team Rock today put up a video what appears to be a riot in Mississippi prison down there, Sandman. Now, as a result of this video coming out and going viral, they're saying that Yo Gotti, along with Jay-Z, are pretty much, petitioning the federal government to step in and, do something about the inmates. The conditions going on down there now. We broke the story, I'll say maybe like a week and a half ago or so, him and Jay-Z pretty much teaming up with other people to sue the Mississippi prison, on behalf of like 20 or 30 inmates because of the conditions down there. Now, a new video came out, now this part of the prison, I guess, is called the Parchment part of the prison right now, where they're saying that it's pretty much understaffed, but this video's out. It's going crazy. People in there fighting. It's a riot, like you see on TV. What do you think about this, about Yo Gotti petitioning the federal government to step in?
Just another move he's making, a power move he's making to get change.
Yeah.
In a situation where obviously it's very disgusting. Now, it's not the only prison system is going on in. We know prison systems are privately funded, and reasonings and why they are up and running and the criteria it takes to keep them lights on. We all know how unfair and unjust and disgusting these situations are. And it's not hard to believe out the spell of speculation that they don't give a damn about the people in there. They're in there to make money, get free labor, and keep them lights on. So it's easy, and obviously this has been going on for a long time, but it's easy to throw that away and kind of hide it back in the day when there's no cameras. Now there's cameras, now there's things, outlets for them to stream this and see it. So I'm glad that people are vocally getting involved. You've seen Yo Gotti getting involved. You see, you heard Jay-Z getting involved. And even though these are rappers and people are kind of automatically going to throw some kind of stereotype on, so whatever, at least they're making positive steps to make change. The attention that they're going to bring on this will potentially make change. They're in a state that scares the dog out of me. I've said it publicly on this podcast. I got a kennel down there, Gatorhead Bullies. Shout out to Gatorhead Bullies. I want to get a dog from. Y'all got to make me feel safe to come down to Mississippi. That's one state. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
sitting down there, man. It doesn't surprise me, unfortunately. Hopefully things could change and Yo Gotti can help.
Yeah, I want to play a clip here from the Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves.
Okay.
He said something, and I'll play this. Well, that was not going to play, so I guess we'll scratch that. Sometimes that that happens for whatever reason.
But, it's all gravy.
Yeah, here's what I'll say. You know what I mean? While that attempts to, play, I salute them. Like I said before in the last video that we did, about Yo Gotti and Jay-Z, because these guys, man, and most of these rappers, they never get involved with causes like this ever. They're so far from this and whatever. I'm not expecting every rapper to take their resources and money and to put it into things like this, but when you see this, though, that they really care, because it's like the average Joe, like, man, who cares about them cats in prison? Like, most people think that most people deserve to be in those conditions. You know what I mean? But I believe that everybody, no matter what, should be treated as a fair human being. They're entitled to food, water, shelter. I believe all at 100%. But on the other hand, I do know the conditions of some of these jails and in prisons, I should say, and because I've heard people and I've seen things, and I'm not stupid at the end of the day, but I'm glad they're suing, and hopefully this could be a trickle down effect. People that are powerful, in whatever city that you represent, more people will start to petition and start to sue to get some change, like you said the other day, which was great. They only really begin to move or change if you start hitting that pocket, you start hitting the money, if you start going after the officials and things like that. So yeah, I'm glad that this happened. Now the Mississippi governor pretty much was saying saying that a lot of this death was happening because the inmates had cell phones, but on contrary, if it wasn't for the cell phones, we wouldn't know about the conditions. We wouldn't know about some of the things that were going on in there. So gladly that the inmates in this particular situation had a cell phone where they're able to leak this information out. Say, look, this is crazy. This is urgent. We need the federal government now to step in and do something about this, because the state won't intervene the proper way. So, if those brothers in prison, you never know who listens to the podcast. If you happen to listen to this, man, we send you energy, man. We know it's a tough situation, but keep your head high, try to persevere, you know what I mean? And hopefully you got people fighting, on your side out there.